Hello YouTube, my name's Jason and this is Lineware. Today we will be going over some more generics, and the first thing I want to start off with is, well, as you can see on this line right here we have where we have to put this integer in, but this one right here is set to Java 1.6. If we come over here to Java 1.7, you'll notice it's the exact same code, but we can take this integer right here out of it. But if we come over here to the 6 and we take it out, we'll get an error. And the reason we're getting this error is because it was just implemented into Java 1.7, and that was just one of the changes in it. Now I want to go over some of the naming convention for generics. And the first thing you need to know about the naming convention is, if you remember, we have this T right here, which means type. Also, there is the key, which is just K. You can use K. It's going to make a bunch of errors, but key is for K, and then we have N for number. You have V for value, and basically you have, and then for like collections, there's this one called element, and it uses E for the majority of that in collections. And when we get into collections, you'll see that a lot in it. So let's go ahead and change this back to T. And also you can just use any other letter for whatever you want to use it for. So that's all I want to go over in that. Now let's go ahead and let's make a program. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete everything from here to here. And the first thing we need to do is we need to create a let's create a car lot. So let's go ahead and create a class, and let's call it car. And of course we want to use generics on it, so it's going to have the type, and then all we need to do is give T, and then what we want to do is just create our setters and our getters. So get T, set T. Okay, you got everything I wanted. Now we have all that set, so let's go ahead and come into our Lineware Tutorial 7 class. These are two different classes, and let's just give it a little bit of space right here, and we're going to create a new class, a new method, and we're going to make it static because we don't want it to, we want it to have consistent values, and it's going to be public because we want it to be accessible by everybody. So public static. And whenever you're setting a method, you can actually set a generic to a method, so that generic is used specifically for that method. And that's what I'm really going over in this tutorial, is that you can set generics to be specifically for a method, and you can also use that to set for specifically for constructors as well. And we're just going to set this one, let's go with U sounds good, and we'll make this void. We don't want to use anything in it, and we'll say add car. We'll just call it that. And then right now it has no values passed into it. We're going to need to pass some values into it. So we want to pass U because we just created that. So we want it to have that U value, and we want them to pass that into it, and we want it to have a list of, let's see, we'll say we want it to have a list of car and U. Yeah, that's right, that's something that you can do inside of generics. And now we have to name that, we'll just name it cars. So now we have this right here created, and U needs to be capitalized. And if you notice, we're getting this error right here, but that's because we're going to need to be importing a special package, and this package is import, and it's java.utilities. We're going to be calling on this, and this right here, this list, is just a list of items that we're going to be putting into it, and that's what we're using. It's pre-put in, it's pre-installed into Java. So if you're wondering what that is, we're not going to create it or anything. It's already created, and we're pulling it from java.utilities. Just like whenever you use toString or equals or anything like that, except for this one you have to call specifically out because it's not in the immediate vicinity of the object class. So let's go ahead and let's add some stuff into this class. The first thing we want to add into it is we want to add car. We want to create a object, and this object is going to be a car U, and we're going to just name it car and say it's equal to new car. And of course, because we are in 1.7, we don't have to do that, but we still do have to put these on here. Now if I was to take this right here off of it, it wouldn't work the way you think it would. So you have to put this, what we call in Java, a diamond. You have to put that little diamond in there, or else you'll get a runtime error. So let's go ahead and go to the next step, and we need to do a car, and we need to set a value to this car. So set t, do I have, yes I do right here. Okay, set t, and what we're going to set to it is we're just going to set u, which we created right here. So we're just going to set u to it, and then the next one we're going to do cars, and we're going to do add, and we're going to add a car to it. So now we have that. And if you remember, cars is a list. So that add method right here is inside of the list, and that's how we got that. See, if you notice, cars add list, and then you just go through that, you can see all the details on the add method inside of the list class. So the next thing we need to do, we're done with that method. We need to go ahead and develop our main method, and the first thing we need to do is create an array list. And an array list is also part of the java.util package. So let's go ahead and do that, and we need to give this a value of car string, because we want to pass string into the car and pass that into the array list. So that's what we're doing with that, and we need to create the car list, and this is what we're going to call it, and it's going to be a new array list, and of course we just throw the diamond in there and the parentheses and finish it. Now we've created that. Let's give ourselves a little bit of space, and what we want to do is we want to add values to the add car. So we need to go ahead and pass some values into this, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to do line where we're going to use this right here. So let's just go ahead and copy that, Control C, Control V, dot, and if you notice we got this add car, and we need to pass a value into this, and what we're going to do is we're just going to throw our car names into here. I'm going to throw an Audi, and for this part we need to throw in car list. Alright, now we have that one, and we're just going to copy it, Control C, and we'll just throw in 4 cars into it, and I'm going to throw in a Honda, maybe a Ford, and let's go German and do BMW. There we go. So now we have these 4 cars getting thrown into that list. So now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and create a let's create a string array. So let's string, and we'll just call this rank. We'll rank the cars with this one. And we need to give it 4 rankings, of course. But we need to give these values to it. So we'll say bestest, bester, best, and okay. So now we have that to rank it. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a counter and make this equal to 0. And it's int counter. There we go, because we're going to use this counter to print out all our things together, our 2 arrays that we're going to develop. And now we need to create a for each loop, not a for loop. Okay, just in case you were wondering, we're creating a for each loop. And what we're going to add in here is we're going to add car string, because we're going to be passing string only into this, and we need to name this car. So let's go ahead and throw the colon right here, not the semicolon now, and car list is what we're going to use, because we're using this right here as our pointer. And we're done thus far, and now all we need to do is print all this stuff on the screen. And so let's go ahead and create a string and cars on lot. So this is how we're going to put the cars on the lot, check to see if the car's on the lot. So car.getT, and we're just going to use the get T for the cars to get the values that we put in from the set when we were setting all the cars and stuff to it right here, when we were setting our cars to it. And we're just going to add it into this right here. And now all we're going to do is we're going to print that. So we need to do system.out.print line, and how do we want to do this? We want to do the rank, of course. So rank, and we want to use the counter for this. Oh, rand, oops. And we want to use the counter because we want it to be counted out. And let's go ahead and say car is, and now we just want to add cars on lot dot to string, and cars on lot. Oh, I spelled that all kinds of wrong, didn't I? That was supposed to be cars on lot. There we go. And now all we need to do is set a counter to go up. And each time it goes through this array, that right here, each time it goes through this array, we want it to count up. And it's only going to go through as many elements that are in the array. And if you remember, we set 4 elements into this array. So, not this array. We set them in the add car. So we set them inside of the list. And when we print this out on the screen, now you see bestest car is Audi, bester car is Honda, best car is Ford, and okay car is a BMW. So that's pretty much what we did. How much time do I got left? Well, that's all I'm going to go over in this tutorial. Thank you for watching. My name's Jason. This was Lineware. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a great day.